So a lot of folks deal with the concept of MSO penetration, reciprocity penetration. For those who are not familiar, that basically means, we sell a little bit of wholesale goods to them, they sell wholesale goods back to us. How do you, through the procurement mindset, though, help manage those kinds of relationships, right? How you deal with the fact that you have to be purchasing a certain amount back from them that you need to move through the stores with access to the data, with access to the tooling, like how do you engage in that? How do you make sure that you're actually getting the appropriate amount that you're turning over so you're not dealing with issues where you've taken on more than you can actually push out the door on a reciprocal basis?
Right. And so it all begins with the initial order and the initial process, onboarding process with a lot of these guys. So it's understanding what you're getting yourself into and understanding what we can do in terms of marketing and the promotional aspect to ensure that the products are moving at the end of the day. So I don't like to do business as in tick for tack, like, hey, you spend this, we spend this. I like to figure out what products work for me and just trying to find holes within my online menu or our menu in general to ensure that, the products that we're bringing on are going to move and they are going to have the demand. So initially it begins with not over ordering on the initial order. You start small, and then that's typically how I like to work it out. Over here at Ponderosa, we do kind of just in time ordering. We like to do weekly ordering just to ensure that we're not overstocking our shelves at the end of the day and we're not overstocking any backstock. So for us, it's just with the initial order, initial marketing, initial, promotional pushes. I think that's going to set you up for success later down the road, and ultimately just maintaining the relationships with a lot of these guys and making sure you're following up with them, and if you're having issues with product slowing down and not moving at the velocity that you're looking for, then it's just going back to the drawing board and ultimately working with these guys. And so yeah, there's tons of tools that we're utilizing to understand the brands that we're coming across. Like, I use tools like BDSA Analytics,
Mhm.
Headset, and that helps me derive a decision on where these products are at in the market. Because you can go off your initial gut instinct, like, oh, I'm familiar with the products. I don't know, I'm not too sure, but taking a deeper dive into the analytics and understanding the cost and the pricing of these brands and where their average unit price lies, and that's the average unit sale price. So it's like, okay, well, if these guys are coming in, they're priced high, but you're looking at BDSA analytics and it's telling you these guys move at this price point. They will always move at this price point. So it's just figuring out how often we can get that price point on the menu without hurting the customer, without hurting the vendor and their brand,
Yeah.
by over discounting and doing things of that nature. Because realistically, you want product to move organically, but here in Arizona, organic sales is it's not a thing. You know what I mean? It's just it's frustrating because if you have organic sales as a brand, you're doing something right and you left a mark on the consumer, and they're just always going to naturally gravitate towards your guys' brand because it's trusted, they're loyal. I would say there's probably 5 brands that are like that in this state.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than
And
that, everything's just moving on promo.